Hello and welcome to Story Underlying. This is third part of Socio-Religious reform movements Seva Sadan that was formed in 1908 by Behramji M. Malabari, who is Parsi social reformer, along with Diwan Dayaram Gidumal, edited Indian Spectator. He fought against child marriage and widow remarriage, and his efforts led to passage of Age of Consent Act. Seva Sadan catered to all caste. Dev Samaj 1887 by Shiv Narayan Agnihotri. Book Dev Shastra, emphasis on eternity of soul, supremacy of Guru. He called for ideal social behavior, no bribes, no intoxicants, and no violence. He fought against child marriage. Dev Samaj Dharma Sabha 1830 by Radhakant Dev. It was an orthodox organization which called for preservation of status quo in socio-religious matters, opposing even abolition of sati. It favored Western education for girls. So याद रखें, it opposed abolition of sati, but it favored Western education even for girls. Bharat Dharma Mahamandala 1902 by Madan Mohan Malviya. It was an all-India organization of Orthodox Hindus, headquartered at Varanasi. Various organizations were combined into Bharat Dharma Mahamandala in 1902. Those combined were Dharma Mahaparishad, Sanatan Dharma Sabha, Dharma Mahamandali, Radha Swami Movement 1861 by Tulsi Ram, also known as Shiv Dayal Sahib. He believed in two things. First, supremacy of Guru, and second, simple social life, that is company of pious people known as satsang. He had no belief in temple or sacred places. Spiritual attainment not by renunciation of worldly life. SNDP movement of 1903 Kerala. Shri Narayan Guru Dharma Paripalna. Shri Narayan Guru Swami was the chairman. He belonged to Izavas of Kerala, comprising 26% of population, considered backward toddy tapers as untouchables. He led a Ruvipuram movement where he took stone from Neyar river and installed it as Shivlinga at Aruvipuram. Narayan Guru held all religions to be the same. Kumaran Asan was General Secretary. It is an example of regional movement born out of conflict between depressed classes and upper caste. Dr. Paplu's effort, that is social justice through movement like Izava Memorial, Malayali Memorial. SNDP movement took important issues like right to admission in public schools, government services, access to roads and entry into temples, and also political representation, all leading to upward social mobility. Vokaliga Sangh 1905 at Mysore. It is an anti-Brahmin movement. बात करते हैं justice movement की. Madras by C.N. Mudliar along with T.M. Nair and P. Tyagaraja. The movement focused to secure jobs and representation to non-Brahmins. Self-respect movement by E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar, formalizing wedding without Brahmin priest. Temple entry movement by T.K. Madhavan, who was editor of Deshabhimani. Vaikom Satyagrah, Kerala in 1924 by K.P. Kesawa, demanding throwing up of roads and temples to untouchables. Subramaniam Tirumambu 1931, who is considered singing sword of Kerala with P. Krishna Pillai and A.K. Gopalan. Maharaja of Travancore opened all government-controlled temples to all Hindus. C. Raja Gopal Chari 1938. Indian Social Conference by M.G. Ranade and Raghunath Rao. It was social reform cell of INC. It met annually and in 1887 at the same time and venue as INC. It led pledged movement for the cause of child marriage. It stood for various causes like intercaste marriage, opposed polygamy and Kulinism. Wahhabi or Waliullah movement. It is an revivalist movement in response to Western influence and called for return to spirit of Islam. Political perspective to Waliullah teaching was given by Shah Abdul Aziz. Sayyid Ahmad Bareilwi called for return to pure Islam. Sayyid Ahmad called for return to pure Islam, Darul Harb, land of Kafirs, to Darul Islam, land of Islam, initially against Sikh and later turned towards British, playing important role in revolt of 1857. Titu Mir's movement, Mir Nithar Ali, who was disciple of Sayyid Ahmad, preached Wahhabism and advocated Sharia. He organized Muslim peasants against landlords of Bengal who were Hindus and British indigo planters. Farezi movement of 1818 by Haji Shariatullah. In 1840, the Farezi movement came under Dudu Mian, son of Haji Shariatullah. Under Dudu Mian, the movement became revolutionary, and after his arrest in 1847, it finally weakened the movement. The aim of the movement was to eradicate social innovation and un-Islamic practices among Muslims. The movement organized paramilitary forces against zamindars. They also established own law courts. Ahmadiyya movement of 1889 by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. It was a sect of Islam originated in India. Ahmadiyya movement is a sect of Islam that originated in India based on liberal principles to spread Western education among Indian Muslims. It preached principle of universal religion of all humanity and opposing jihad. It believed in Masiyah and separating mosque and state. It suffered from mysticism. Aligarh movement, so it was led by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. He was loyalist member of British Empire, earned knighthood in 1888. His magazine Tehdeeb ul Akhlaq, he said Muslims should first focus on education and jobs and try to catch up with Hindu counterparts, because participation in politics would invite hostility of government towards Muslim masses. He worked for welfare of Muslim through Western education and with support of British. He allowed himself to be used by colonial government in their obnoxious policy of divide and rule. He was zealous educationalist, started Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College in 1875, later called Aligarh Muslim University. The aim of the movement, ideology based on liberal interpretation of Quran, harmonize Islam with modern liberal culture, promote modern education among Muslims, initiate social reforms among Muslims relating to parda, polygamy, education and slavery, throwing light on the position of women. The movement advocated easy divorce, condemned system of piri and muridi. It believed in fundamental underlying unity of religion and practical morality. In 1857 revolt, British viewed Muslims as conspirators and later used them as allies against nationalist political activity through concessions. The movement emerged as liberal, modern trend among Muslims and became center of religious and cultural revival of Muslim community. The Deoband movement, 1866, it was a revivalist movement which began at Darul Uloom, Deoband, UP, by Muhammad Qasim Nanotawi and Rashid Ahmad Gangoi. The aim of school was moral and religious regeneration of Muslim community with twin objective: propagate pure teachings of Quran and Hadith and keeping alive the spirit of jihad against foreign rule. It is considered sacred war against non-Muslims. It welcomed the formation of INC, and in 1888 the school issued a fatwa, that is religious decree, against Sayyid Ahmad organization. Mahbudul Hasan gave political and intellectual content to religious ideas. Ibli Numani favored English language and European science, founded Nadwatul Ulama and Dar Uloom in Lucknow 1894, believed in idealism of Congress and cooperation between Hindu and Muslims, बात करते हैं पारसी रिफॉर्म मूवमेंट्स की. बाय रहनुमाई मुजदायसन सभा 1851. It was a group of English educated Parsis that aimed to restore Zoroastrian religion to its pristine purity. It also aimed to uplift Parsi women, that is removal of parda, raising the age of marriage and focusing on their education. Nauroji Fardunji, Dadabhai Nauroji, K.R. Kama and S.S. Bangle were the associates of the movement. Newspaper Rast Goftar, that is Truth Teller. The Parsi community emerged as most westernized section of Indian society. बात करते हैं सिख रिफॉर्म मूवमेंट की. Singh Sabha movement 1873 at Amritsar, which promoted Western education to Sikh, for which it opened Khalsa schools throughout Punjab. It aimed to counter politicizing activities of Christian missionaries, Arya Samaj, Brahmo Samaj and Muslim Maulvis. Everything that went against Guru's teachings was rejected. Kali movement, also known as Gurudwara Reform Movement, was an offshoot of Singh Sabha movement that aimed at liberating Sikh Gurudwaras from control of corrupt Udesi Mahants. The post had become hereditary. That became a big problem. Also, it should be noted that it is a regional movement. Later, Sikh Gurudwara Act in 1922 was passed that constituted Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee. Next is Theosophical Movement 1875 by H.P. Blavatsky and Colonel M.S. Olcott, were a group of Westerners working for universal brotherhood of humanity without distinction. Theosophical Movement by Madam H.P. Blavatsky and Colonel M.S. Olcott, who were a group of Westerners. 1907, death of Olcott, Annie Besant became president. She laid foundation of Central Hindu University 1898 in Benares, which later came to be known as Benares Hindu University. Both Hindu religion and Western scientific subjects were taught here. The headquarters of the movement, New York City, US, and later on shifted to Adyar, outskirts of Madras in 1882. The movement was inspired by Indian culture and thought, focusing on special relation between soul and God through contemplation, prayer and revelation. Accepted Hindu belief in karma, inspiration from Upanishads and Samkhya, Yoga and Vedanta school. He allied itself with Hindu Renaissance and also once allied with Arya Samaj. The movement seemed to be vague as its impact was limited to small western segment of westernized class. From another angle, it gave false sense of pride to Indians in their outdated and backward looking tradition and philosophy. तो आपको इसका PDF मिल जाएगा मेरे टेलीग्राम चैनल पे. मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो पे. तब तक के लिए ऑल द बेस्ट. थैंक यू.